What the fuck? I thought it was like a fucking, like a decal.
Nope.
Like a sticker. Like the fucking, like, little ones that came with my MacBook when I got it. I thought that shit was this.
No, it's like a metal, right?
Oh, okay.
But even then, it's like, how much? Okay, guys, welcome to the Double D experience. David is about to have a fucking aneurysm because we just looked up how much just the badge of a Bugatti is. OEM and everything. David, please present the price of such badge to the public.
The first one that came up was $360. And that's like that's like one of the cheapest ones. What the Here, this one's an emblem, it's $1,600.
Oh my gosh!
All so you can to pretend you have a Bugatti?
You can slap it on your Honda Civic and just like, hey, yo guys, check out my Bugatti.
Look, I went around a Smash tournament like 2 weeks ago, asking like all my friends, like, hey man, what color's your Bugatti? And if they told me they didn't have a Bugatti, I had to be like, you are not the top G. And then if they told me just like, oh, which one? Like my chrome ones, or like the metallic finish?
Yeah,
and I'm like, are you saying you have multiple Bugattis? And he's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And then I just went to everybody in the room and I'm like, stop. He is the top G.
He is the top G.
Just going around making fun of Andrew Tate as he fucking deserves to be made fun of. But holy fuck, how down horrendous do you have to be?
Let me see. Okay, so Bugatti's emblem, as you said, was $1,600, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to know how much Lambo's badge is?
How much is the Lambo badge, Dennis?
Okay, hold up. I'm on eBay.
You and I were both having a shit day.
Yeah, no, now it's kind of turned around a bit.
Y'all don't even know. Like, we were venting. I was about to have an aneurysm before. We were both, like, before we even hit record, we were talking about personal shit. Like, we're fine, don't worry, but just stuff we didn't want to say on the fucking show.
Yeah.
And now we're talking
sulking,
about...
We were sulking a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, but we have to record at 5 o'clock. The sun is out, which is our mortal enemy, as we all know.
Going back to the badge.
Yeah, how much?
It is somehow... I mean, well, Bugatti is above a fucking Lambo just because, like, you know, anyone kind of knows how much a Bugatti is.
I would imagine.
But, Lambo badge is $99.99.
Get the fuck out of here.
Which, considering it is, like, Lambo and Bugatti are the brands that they are, I kind of get why, like, you know, they would charge that much for just the badge. But
is their demographic only like, you know, people with daddy's trust fund money? Like is that their only fucking market?
Probably, honestly. Oh. I mean, I know in Fort Lee, not like actually know them, but there are two guys that I see every now and then, like driving their Lambos, and they're fairly older dudes. I'm like, okay, like, you know, they probably worked hard for it. At least that's like the story that I like cook up in my head. But
reality is often disappointing.
Yeah. His mom died and took out the life insurance money and just paid for a Lambo for using that.
You have a Lambo badge. What did it cost you?
Everything. I don't know. I think that's like how all these trust fund kids like probably sound. Everything. Everything.
Yeah, daddy's money. I got the latest Tate podcast or whatever. I don't know.
It's like I'm top tier in the Hustlers University.
You ever just hear a man and you just instantly know the size of his cock by, you know, just his fucking demeanor, like his voice,
or you know, it's either the size of his cock or how well he fucks. Like you kind of can gauge, you know, like you could kind of gauge that. It's like this is the kind of guy that like, you know, he don't even go down on a girl. He just like, he just flops on her and then like calls it a day after he takes like, takes 10 milliseconds to come. Not even seconds. I don't even give him that much. It's like he just goes like, and then like the girl's just like, you know, like lying down there like, well, fuck, like damn, like I'm just gonna lie down here now.
Yeah, I'm sure
it's finished. It's done.
I'm sure that ride in the Lambo was worth it, sweetheart. Do you remember when DJ Khaled unironically said men should not go down on their women?
Oh, did he really say that?
Yeah, he did, because
I'm so out of the loop with that shit. I did not know he said
kings kings don't service. Kings get service.
There was
He actually said that with his whole chest. And there's a lot of chest there because he's fat as fuck.
Yeah.
And like,
it's not mostly chest, it's mostly belly.
There's a lot of blood pressure to get through, to get to that chest, for him to say something with his whole chest. You gotta give him credit where credit is due for that.
Yeah, whether it breaks his back too.
Unironically said, yo fellas, is it gay to go down on your girl? My God. Dennis, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, especially with what we were talking about before when it came to my friend and shit. Yeah. I am so disappointed in men today. I'm just so disappointed in men. Y'all keep saying you're kings, but you don't treat yourself like kings. And when you do, say you're treating yourself like kings, you're not actually treating yourself like kings. You're saying dumb shit like eating pussy is gay, or spending way too much money that your daddy has on fucking Bugatti stickers so you can pretend that you drive a fucking Bugatti instead of actually fucking saving up for a Bugatti among shit. Or retweeting girls onto your timeline that will never ever ever know you exist. Much like a Mario Kart roulette reel, once you get the item box in Mario Kart, that is not how women select their mates. It's not a fucking random roulette reel, my friend. Bella Porch ain't gonna fucking see that shit.
When you did the roulette sound effect, I was gonna be like, you got self-loathing.
Stop your cart. That'd be sick though if you could get Bugatti badges in Mario Kart. In-game, aesthetics and stuff. That'd be cool.
Oh, but dude, then that game would be so, just fucking... dudes would just have so much red tape around it, because, even games like Gran Turismo, where, they have, a lot of the brands, actually put their designs, in the game.
Are, actually about the cars.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. It would be fucking amazing seeing, Wario or Luigi in, a pimped out purple Lambo. It honestly would be fucking hype if they ever brought real life designs to 8. But it's it would be hype. It would be hype. Fucking
wah. It's the motherfucking Waluigi.
That would be great. I'd pay for that DLC.
Well, we're halfway there. Because they got Mercedes and Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they got a couple
not
Mercedes.
Halfway, though. That's a spit take. It's not even a full,
Yeah,
not even full effort.
Yeah, but the top G just walks around parking lots, walking around spitting on every Mercedes he can find.
They don't even have JDM cars in the game. They got Mercedes firsts for some reason.
That was an interesting deal.
Mercedes was just kind of talking to the lawyers and stuff. It's all right, what do we got on the docket today? The CEO came in all CEO it's he's also German, so he's guten Tag, what is on the schedule for today? He's apparently Nintendo's asking for other car brands to kind of put in their designs for their new DLC. He's we are doing it. You lawyer number 10, go call Nintendo right now. Boss, let's go. Los, please, come on. And then, they call up Miyamoto, whoever, and it's just it's hello? It's what the fuck do you want? Who is this? Mr. Miyamoto, we are Mercedes-Benz, and we would like to put our car in your next DLC for the Mario Kart game. And he's no, really, who the fuck are you? I don't know. Who?
Our countries are not friends anymore. You failed us.
We are also busy with suing this fucker for everything he has. His name is Bowser. Do you understand? Do you understand how busy we are?
Oh my god.
Really sad, that whole shit that is going on. But
I am scared of Nintendo's lawyers.
Nintendo gonna sue them.
I do not want to deal with them.
Nintendo's gonna sue them because Nintendo conveniently forgot that they were the ones that okayed this car being in their fucking game. And they're what the fuck is that? And then they sue Mercedes, and it's no. You said we could do it right here. They put the fine print and shit. They would actually conveniently forget. And they're oh. Ask the judge to come over. It's just dismiss the case. Just dismiss it. Just do it.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is good money?
Listen to me. What the fuck do I pay you for? Huh? Dismiss the case. You piece of shit.
We're not dealing with these people, man. Nuh-uh.
But yeah, Mercedes, that was a terrible fucking, like, fucking story, but, like, our little, ad-lib, but, yeah, like, I don't know, it's, like, it's so odd, like, of all fucking companies to throw their car in there, and, like, Nintendo actually saying, like, yeah, let's put it in there, before even, like, Japan's, like, national JDMs, like, what? Understand.
Yeah, it was really, it was like a free DLC, too, I think. Yeah, there was, the Mercedes-Benz. There was the fucking, they added, like, 3 fucking, like, Mercedes cars. They added a fucking, a GLA, a W25 Silver Arrow, which is, like, those old-fashioned looking, like, you know, go-kart race cars, like, the ones that kind of look like chrome penises. And the 300 SL Roadster, which kind of looks like one of them old-fashioned pimp mobiles, if that makes any sense.
Kind of hype, though.
Yeah, no, I would love to just race Mario Kart in a pimp mobile. It's just funny, you know?
GLA, Silver Arrow, Roadster, and they even got the GLA tires. Which look, honestly, I have to say it, Mario Kart tires, virtually all of them, look pretty fucking awful. Like, they always look terrible on the car.
Oh,
I'm
what,
sorry.
You don't like the button tires?
I don't like the skinny ass fucking
that they got
blue
from like
ones.
the Build-A-Bear workshop.
This look Lego Mario Kart. Look, like, you know how, like, when back in the day when we played with Legos, we built our custom carts and shit.
Yeah.
And it always would be like these mismatched blocks that we always fucking use.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Mario Karts look like with these shitty fucking wheels. Like, they look fucking terrible. Holy shit.
You gotta admit, though, the fact that you could put, like, you know, fucking wooden tires on, like, a goddamn roadster. The fact that there's a video game that we can do that in, pretty hype.
It is, yeah, okay, fine.
Pretty hype.
Fair.
Yeah, imagine just going to, like, to the shop, like, picking up your fucking Bugatti, and, like, they just slap on, like, these fucking wooden tires, and they look like shit, but they run like a mother. You drive this car around, it gets you all the ladies, because let's be real, men don't love cars, women love cars. And even though it's fucking made of wood,
very true.
They'll walk into those cars and say, like, are these tires the only wood you own? Zaddy.
Zaddy.
Or whatever they say now. What does zaddy mean, by the way?
It's just another way of saying daddy.
I know, like, it is, but like the Urban Dictionary, what's the meaning? Because listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm
gonna look it up. Don't look it up.
Just Urban Dictionary. Zaddy
is an attractive man who is. It's the same fucking thing.
Look zaddy up on Urban Dictionary.
I did. It's the same thing. It's an attractive man who is also stylish, charming, and self-confident. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from.
I don't know why I'm so going off. I thought I was depressed like fucking 10 minutes ago.
That's why. I think that's why we're going off right now. You and I are both a little heated right now, and I think we need to take advantage of that moment.
We bounced back, bro. The Double D strikes back.
The Double D's always strike back, and they're always going to be striking at a convenient networking event near you with these motherfucking business cards, baby.
Nintoonist, I hope you put it up there.
Woo!
Actually,
it looks good, right?
No. Bro, I was in bed when you showed me this, and like I went to sleep before I could respond because I just passed out. But I was like in my like half asleep days, I was like, hey yo, that's pretty cool.
I figured that was what was going on. Listen, I had to have like some new business cards made recently, and because I'm going to some networking events because I am in fact an unemployed fuck, and browsing through job listings that recruiters put right in the garbage, which kind of makes you question why they put a goddamn job listing on the internet in the first place.
I've been in that same kind of area myself, and
going out,
it is not good.
Meeting people now, and I realized, fuck, I have no business cards. Like, the thing said, bring your business cards, and I was like, sure thing. Oh, fuck. And so I just had these made, and so I threw my podcast on the back of it, because I am a podcast producer, editor, and host myself, trying to get into that line of work, and these came out really good. I'm actually really happy with how they came out.
Sure.
Remind me to, I know it's weird, because, like, it just has my face on it, like, on the other side, too, but remind me to give some to you. Like, just in your travels.
I'm gonna actually put one up as, like, almost framed. I'm gonna put it
like
right here.
Like, I have 500 of these.
And I need to give them away.
They were cheap. I got them like $25.
Oh shit! Damn.
Like for 500, I could have gotten 1,000 for only like $13 more. But I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with 1,000? Especially considering the fact that afterwards, and only after I purchased these business cards, did I remember, oh shit, I was planning on changing my Twitter handle soon. Guess I can't be doing that now.
Oh my god, can you imagine the confusion? They're like trying to look you up on Twitter. It's like, who the fuck is this? Like they thought like, where is, at Nintoonist, like on Twitter. And they like call you up. It's like, hey, we're trying to get a hold of your Twitter, but it's just like, we can't find it. And like automatically you're just kind of like, as soon as you say like, oh yeah, sorry, I changed my Twitter handle like at the last minute because like I just, I'm kind of going through like a transformative phase right now and I kind of want to change my handle. It's like, oh, then sorry, we can't do business with you. It's just like,
imagine. I don't think those would be the kind of people I want to do business with. If you judge a man by not the size of his girth, the strength and size of his heart, and the content of his character, rather you judge him by the funny number that is next to the follower word on fucking Twitter.com, you're not the kind of person I want to do business with regardless. Half the reason I love voiceover so much, we don't judge people based off of that. They don't give a fuck how many fucking followers you have. They give a fuck like how your tape sounds, or how they look, or anything like that. Granted, yeah, occasionally, like, it just means you're more well-known, which is true. When, like, people fucking, can't hire you if they don't know who you are, but, it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
The point is, I am a businessman now.
You're
I have business cards, which means I'm official businessman.
Nothing's more top G than having fucking business cards, bro. I mean that semi ironically.
Okay, see now, because you said that,
David, if you just shaved your head, you could cosplay as Andrew Tate.
Now, because you said that, I want to take all these business cards that I made outside and burn them.
He's gonna go ritual. Find a metal barrel, throw them all in there, dump some gasoline, and just fucking set them on fire.
I never ever want to do business with someone who unironically believes in top G's. I don't.
What if he memes on them same as us?
That's not someone who. That's
no,
someone.
I know, but that's why. Like, it's just if
that's
he's just
someone who ironically believes in top G's. That not unironically. That's different.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it was on the flip side, it's just like he's like he just fucks around same as you.
Those are the people I want to do business with the most, because then I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not, or like be like uptight and poised or whatever, knowing I could just fucking meme with this guy. Whew. That's
the kind of boss you want.
That's the kind of boss. That's literally what I'm gonna be at this fucking networking event I'm going to. I have to walk and be like, hey boss, can I have a job, please?
Can I have a career, please?
Boss, please, I
have unemployment, boss.
Well then. So did you and I have any topics prepared for today as we end our segment here on Top G's and business cards, huh?
I kind of at least just wanted to talk about my experience at Louisiana. And
please do.
Just like my time there and like
Were you born on the Bayou?
No, we did not go to the Bayou.
On the Bayou.
We just didn't have time. We were there for a friend's wedding, and for the first couple of days we were in New Orleans, and then after that we kind of went out into the countryside. And first thing that I wanted as soon as I fucking landed was fucking jambalaya. Nothing else mattered. Like, I want that delicious, probably 2,500 calorie plate of rice. I want it in me so bad. And for any of you, baby. And for any of you who don't know what jambalaya is, it's literally like rice mixed with their like Cajun sauce / seasoning with chicken, sausage, and sometimes even shrimp. It's just like, think of like a paella on steroids almost, because it's just like got all this shit in it. But
you would know that as a man who had to take steroids because of paella.
Of course. I'm on that PED. I'm all red meat, as you know.
As I'm sure your asshole was that day.
But when we got there, we got off the plane, and we got to this hostel that we were staying at. It's like kind of like in the middle of the city, with like Bourbon Street, like a couple blocks down from there. So it was kind of like a lot of people who were there with us, like in our hostel room. It was like us and like every now and then it ranged from like 4 other guys, 2 other guys, 3 other guys, like all like men and women. And so the first day I was just like, I was with my girlfriend and I told her like, I want jambalaya. I don't care where. Well, I kind of do, but like I want like I want a good place if we could find it within walking distance. And let me also say this. The first thing that I noticed about New Orleans was like, bro, I thought New York was like dirty. Like the streets, like the sidewalks and everything. There was this one patch of the sidewalk from where the hostel was, like right outside of it, that was just always had water. It was always wet for some reason. It wasn't even like it was a puddle. It was straight up just like this splashed water, like on this one area. All the time. It was just there the whole time we were there. It never was cleaned up. Or at the very least, like it just didn't dry up. I don't know.
Sidewalk just retained water.
I guess, yeah. Like Katrina just never recovered from Katrina.
Like a pregnant woman or like a fat person who's lying to themselves about why they're fat.
Yeah, they're just wet all the time.
Yeah, that's just retaining water, yeah. The sidewalk was just permanently wet, huh?
And so we went to this one place. I'm not gonna recount like everything because we had like just overall we had so much fucking food. And I'll say this much about like the South and something that they do better than us over here. They're very generous with their fucking serving sizes. Very fucking generous. And for the most part, like, you know, we kind of paid, like, in terms of, like, if I'm comparing prices for a lot of the shit that we ate, like, a lot of seafood stuff, coffees and beignets, jambalaya, gumbo, like, just lots of, like, Louisiana type shit, which is fucking delicious, really.
Fuck me, man.
I did not eat that good. I hadn't ate that good since like fucking forever, man. Every meal that I had, I felt like I could pass out like right then and there. But
amazing.
Like, thankfully, we did a lot of walking when we were over there. So, you know, we did kind of burn it off and all that. But it's just like, bro, like, I need to walk like 10,000 miles to burn all this shit off. Like, it was just that fucking dense. So good, though. It was delicious. I had gator for the first time. And I almost didn't believe it when they told it to me because you know how it came out? It looked like fucking chicken bites. Like it looked like the little popcorn chicken that you got like way back when. It looked like that, but the guy said like, "Oh no, it's gator." And it just straight up tasted like popcorn chicken. But I was like, like, you know, it tasted pretty good. Like I can't complain. Like it was chewier than chicken somehow. It wasn't as dry, which kind of was like, if I could buy gator meat from my fucking supermarket, I probably would, because it tasted great. And we by the last day, this is now when we were out in the countryside, and let me tell you something about driving down there. You almost forget how fast everyone's going. Like the roads are so open. Like it's not how you imagine like I-80 or 95 to be, where it's like when it's busy, right? I went a lot of times when it was busy driving around. Nobody, like it was just no traffic whatsoever every fucking time. I just sped down like their 310, which is their highway. I just sped down it like as if like, oh, I just lived there. Because the rental car that we had Louisiana plates. So at the very least, it's like, okay, maybe I don't drive like a tourist, if nothing else. But like, you know, but like one thing that they had over down there, which I loved, that I feel as if should be enforced here, is that on the highway, right? They had this sign, like every so miles, it was always the sign that said like left lane is for passing. It is the law. So if you're not passing on the left lane, get the fuck off it and go to the right, essentially. Like, and go stick to the right lane. And a lot of times, like I was kind of just sticking to the right lane because like the last thing I wanted was like, you know, to get into the mindset of like, okay, everyone else is speeding. Let me speed, like, because like everyone just passed each other like all the time down there. And I was on the right for the most part. I was just kind of like, I was very much like driving like an old man. I was like, yeah, like just driving like on 310, like no one mind me. And
They
I was
would have known
riding
you
like
were from Jersey.
yeah, the
if,
rental was a the rental was a Kia Forte, but bro, the Jersey in me wanted to speed so fucking bad. Like, it was just screaming in me. It's like, go gun it, bro. And there was a few times where I did, because like the roads were also like, even outside of the highways, like when you go to nearby like the towns, and a lot of the towns are like very like sparsely populated. Like the towns that we were kind of going through outside of New Orleans was like very just like empty. Like they had stores, they had like, you know, buildings out there, right? But like it was very much like just almost nobody out. Like no one's really walking. Like it's not really that kind of place in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And for our last day, we went to a plantation. Funny enough, and the wedding also was at a plantation. Yeah. And the whole time when we were down there, my girlfriend, like at the place that we went to for our friend's wedding, she asked the staff like straight up, without even like any hesitation, just straight up asked them, "Yo guys, be real with me. Is this place haunted? Am I gonna be taking anything back with me like after I leave here?" And they all said like kind of almost just flat out, "Nah, it's not haunted." Like, it was almost like as if they were disappointed too. It's like, yo, it'd be hype if it was haunted. Because like there are like some places that literally on the travel guide they would say like certain of these places that they would list on there are haunted. Like certain plantations, like they're known to have like, you know, ghosts and stuff. But like yeah, there was nobody was, you know, just being like, ooh, like in the plantation that we were at. No, nothing. And I was also like, I kind of want to also go into like how, at least in New Orleans, like there is like this belief in the supernatural. Like they believe that shit outside of our like corporeal world like does exist around the city, like, you know, voodoo and all that. Yeah. And like they unironically believe it. And like I didn't want to shit on it because it's just kind of like, I personally don't believe in that shit. That's just it. That's just, you know, how I am. But like they like the way that the belief that like they have for this kind of stuff was like almost like it was so alien to me for at least a second. Like, and I didn't like it didn't repel me to the place or anything. It was just kind of like, you know, and the way I framed it was this, because like people have been coming to New Orleans since like 17 whatever the fuck. And the French were the ones that basically saw this shitty swampland and said, let's put people here. And you know, so then they started to kind of like...
Sounds like a pretty French thing to do.
Yeah, like started to hoodwink all these like fucking people to go like, hey, by the way, if you go and colonize the land down there, we'll give you money. We'll give you a fuck ton of money. And that was the way like how they got a lot of these people. And as the years went by, right? Like the New Orleans, like, you know, at one point, like people called it like the new Paris of the Mississippi. That was like kind of what it was going for. And for a time it kind of was like everyone who like went there was impressed by like the diversity of the entire city and even the surrounding areas. But then like as the years went by and even going into our modern day, Katrina happened. And it like, you know, just completely, at least the spot that we went to in Bourbon Street, got fucked by the hurricane. Like there was a whole chunk of the area that like was basically just gone. And like initially a lot of the people who got out of there thought like, okay, like we're not going to come back here because like this place is just fucked. Like it's just flooded. Like we can't set up a business here. Or like even before the hurricane came, a lot of people just straight up packed their shit and left anyways before it even came. But like, and even like going before that, like, sorry, I'm kind of like going around a lot here, but it's like at least even before all of that, right? Going back to the 1700s, the mortality rate, apparently we heard from a lot of like the tour guides that we went with, the mortality rate down there was like, you are lucky to live up to the age of 40 because of like how many mosquitoes, like malaria, cholera, all like the diseases that you could possibly think of will just like, you know, which...
That is the thing I would hate the most.
Yeah, which around that
there.
time, like if you got any of those, you're fucked. It's just basically a death sentence or it's like a dice roll at that point. Like yellow fever, that was another one. Yeah, yellow fever as well. Like if you got any of those, like you just like there's like a 60, 70, 80% chance that you just ain't living. Like just flat out.
That was God's initial attempt, and Katrina was just
like the nail in the coffin. It's like
I feel like Katrina was his attempt at just wiping New Orleans off the map, you know, just because of Mardi Gras and all those Girls Gone Wild videos. Just like, get it the fuck out of here. Like, he was clearly trying to wipe it off the face of the planet every fucking year without fail.
But people just kept coming, or at the very least, the city just continued to grow.
You know, wet t-shirt contests are just way too powerful. Licking fucking sugar, like, and making girls, like, human beignets and just licking it off their titties and shit, like, around there when Mardi Gras goes down.
Beignets were delicious. Fucking God, I felt like a fat ass. I felt like, it's like, damn, no wonder these people are so fucking fat down here.
Well, you're shirtless in front of me right now, so you still look pretty good. Don't.
But can I also just say, though, like, when we were down there, right, the tour guides were even saying, and a lot of the people that we were talking to, they even straight up said two things, primarily. Do not come here when it is Mardi Gras. Just do not come. Just do not. And the second one was avoid this place like the plague during the summer. Do not come during the summer. Because mind you, when we went, technically it's not really summer yet, but I still consider like post-Memorial Day basically summer. Anything after Memorial Day is like, hey, it's summer. It's just summer. But like when we were down there, right? They were even saying like, you know, because they knew we were tourists, right? It was like, so therefore we just gotta ask like tourist questions. But like they all straight up said like, do not come here when it's Mardi Gras, or at least like do not even try to like get a place in New Orleans and even just go around Bourbon Street around that time, because it's like because they called the time that we went, you know, like last week around their dead season. Like, nothing's really going on, like, thing. It's just, like, Mardi Gras is past now. Everything's calmed down. It's, like, it's just chill right now. It's, like, yeah, we get tourists every now and then, but it's just, like, it's nowhere near, like, the fucking crazy, like, almost claustrophobia you're gonna get if you went down there when it's, like, busy season for them, which is Mardi Gras. And then also, I guess, suppose, the summer. But... And I've only read about how brutal the summers can be down there. And, like... I am not a summer person flat out, and the temps that we had down there, at least when we were down there, was actually like pretty good. Like, it was nice. Like, it was not like I wasn't sweating my ass off or anything. Like, the southern heat, the UV was pretty fucking brutal, but at the very least, it's like I didn't complain. Like, it was fine. And you know, occasionally, like when we were at the hostel and we were just kind of passed out, there was always like this like one like every now and then like crazy person like outside of the place because our windows was open. We'd always hear like some fight or altercation, fucking cops like going around. Like, it was just like wow, this city like is just like got its own like life to it, really.
Yeah.
And you know, if anyone's ever been to New Orleans, I'm pretty sure like anyone else could vouch for it. And you know, I have to say it's definitely arguably one of the more interesting cities that I've been to, at least around the States, because I'd even go on as to say that it was way more interesting and even more diverse culturally compared to, like, let's say Los Angeles or San Diego or San Fran or whatever.
I mean, hey, like, that place was diverse, like...
From the beginning!
Well, yeah, like, when it, like... shouldn't have been diverse, or like, you know, just based on the times and how like much more prevalent racism and Jim Crow was and shit. But you know, it's the city of jazz. You know, it's where fucking Louis Armstrong came in and went did his thing, and obviously he was of the African American persuasion, and he's one of the goats. Like the actual goats, not like the kind of goats where like all the other boys just like call their other boys goats, like, oh, goat shit, goat behavior. Like, no, he was an actual greatest of all time. Like, that easy. Even don't know too much about how he was kind of perceived by, like, let's say, like, the white populace, but it's like, as the years went on, it's like, just, his status has just been solidified. Like, everyone knows who the fuck he is. Like, there's, like, contention among historians, to my knowledge, that he actually didn't invent scat singing. Oh, there's some historians that actually, like, say that he didn't, but, like, it's still debated today, to my knowledge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, debate for that kind of stuff. Like, you know, it's like, he was the first of this, or she was the first of that. Like, there's always going to be contention.
I feel like it's the same kind of debate as to, like, who invented a meme. You know what I mean? Like, no one knows. It's the internet. It just kind of happened, and now it belongs to the internet, and it's ours now, basically. It's like everybody's creative space, and so... Maybe scat singing could be one of those things, but even though it's not a meme and the internet did not exist yet, so I'm not sure how it quite could be. But
another example of that. Another example of that was like my brother asked like, who the fuck invented hash browns? And then I looked it up, and apparently it was like, it didn't say who first invented it, but apparently it showed up in like a southern cookbook that was made by a woman. So it was like around 1895 that some guy or a woman just decided like, oh, these potatoes, let me shred them up like fucking paper through a shredder and fry them up. And boom, hash browns.
This is the first known mention by American food author Maria Parloa, who between 1843 and 1909.
Yeah,
so that
exactly,
1895 estimate sounds pretty accurate.
But it's like, you know, I didn't think it would take them that long to just fucking find another, way to cook a potato. It's
like everybody down there is just like an instant, like 24/7 hash browns mentality. You know, like they just don't know what day of the week it is, just fucking hash browns. You know, whatever, man. Because if like you cannot get yourself a rooftop, just don't fucking go. I am 6'5" and claustrophobic as shit.
Yeah.
So even if I can see over the crowds or whatever, and like I just feel something on my jock like down below that I can't even fucking tell what it is because there's just too many bodies on me all at once. And behind me, you just got like women flashing their titties everywhere. And I can't even look because I can't even fucking turn around because I can't move because there's too many people on me.
Yeah.
It's
now
just
imagine just you going there in Mardi Gras. It's gonna be 10 times worse. It's 10 times worse.
Speaking of teasing from women, did you see The House of the Rising Sun?
I don't think so.
Yeah, my parents didn't either. Which, by the way, my parents were down there the same time Dennis was for a wedding. I think at a plantation.
I mean, where else are you gonna have a wedding in fucking Louisiana? You know, this is like the way the place is.
Well, they got a lot of They got a lot of choices down there.
They got a lot of choices down there, but it's just like, oh, you want like an authentic Louisiana wedding? We gotta do it at a plantation.
Where there will be a murder.
But there was a murder.
I do declare.
I do declare you man and wife. But I don't like your husband because he's black.
And you can't. And I know
kidding,
you can't.
I'm kidding.
And I know you can't say anything about it because
you're gonna get canceled.
Not even canceled. You're in the South.
I know.
Where's the support?
Yeah. If anything, they're gonna be like, yeah, he is black.
America.
No, but funny enough, like when we were down there, everyone was just sweet. Like everyone was just very kind. Like they actually like tried to like have a conversation with you. Some people like even complimented some of me and my girlfriend's clothes because like we went to Cafe Du Monde and I got myself a shirt there. And every time we went to, not gonna every time, but like anytime anyone ever complimented our shirt, it was not me, it was my girlfriend's. He's like, oh, like I like your shirt, and I'm just kind of like, I'm wearing it too. Like, what about me? No, like not actually, but like it was just like a lot of the folks over there, like they love to talk. They love to like strike conversation because
that's
like
the thing for that Southern hospitality. It's very true. They're just nicer down there. It's crazy.
That and also like time for them is way more slower than it is for us up here, because at the very least, I think it's very much like the way I kind of viewed it was like very much a cultural kind of difference. Because like let's say you compare how the city is in New York and the lifestyle there compared to New Orleans. I felt that difference. Like nobody was like just, oh, I gotta get to my place. Like, just like, how people walk in New York, like the New York walk.
The two speeds.
Yeah.
Move fast.
Or get the fuck out of the way.
Out of the way.
Yeah, basically. That's New York. And for New Orleans, also the streets were wide enough that like I didn't have to fucking worry about bumping into somebody. But like, nobody.
La route.
But nobody like was, like, I was like half expecting someone to be like, chink or something. Like, I don't know the worst of it. It's like, I just immediately thought someone's gonna throw something racist at me. But like, everyone there just like is nice. At the very least, it's like they are so like just almost southernly nice, if that makes sense. Like you would never find that in New York. Like, or at least in a lot of places that, like, you know, like where we're at in like the tri-state, like nobody's like that down there. And like, you know, the people that we talked to, at least at the restaurants, there was this one diner we went to before we left and went to the airport. And there was this really sweet lady that, like, a lot of them moved from other places, from like Cincinnati, Seattle, California, like bunch of places, and they all like came down here, and I'm like,
for vacation?
Like,
for vacation, or do they live there?
They live there.
They all just moved to Louisiana.
Oh no, the one lady that we talked to at the diner, the one waitress, she lives there. She moved there from Cincinnati down here. And the other two guys we talked to, one our Uber driver, and well, not our Uber driver, but like one oh no, yeah, I guess he was our Uber driver. There's like a lot of people we met. One our Uber driver, and then another guy we met at like what they called their PJ's Coffee, which is like their coffee spot, like down south. It's pretty fucking good, actually, like the stuff they got there. And both of them, they're like, yeah, like road trip down here from like California or Washington, of all fucking places. Literally like 3 to 4 day drives just down south down there.
Washington State.
Yeah.
Oh, that is clear across the country. What is wrong with you?
That's right. It's like from one hemisphere to the other.
My
and
fucking
the guy
lumbar
just like
hurts just listening to that, dude.
The guy just makes that drive like it's like
whatever. There's always that one motherfucker who's just like, when it comes to like the longest drive.
Yeah.
In the world.
I just enjoy it.
Like, why are you not a trucker?
Oh yeah, you'd think, right? But like, the guy was doing, he said he did Uber on the side. So like, he does Uber wherever, I guess. Like, he just passes through. He just passes through. He says he just like drives, and the guy who we rented our car from, and his it was like a family little owned business, and he was like just the sweetest dude ever. Like, he was just so nice from the beginning of our trip to the end. And like, he even accommodated us, like even lowered our rate because like we were only gonna borrow the car for like one night essentially. And he even drove us all the way from where we dropped off the car to the airport. Which like, bro, like, you didn't have to do that. Like, and I even argue, people in New York would say, get fucked after you drop off the car. Like, yo, you need to go to the airport? Get an Uber, pussy. Like, that's what they was trying to say.
And I bet he did that for no extra charge.
Yeah.
He just tips his hat at you.
Like, he didn't charge me nothing. Like, anything. And
you're a strange, interesting little nomad, but I like you.
I'll even say this. Like, because I remember I said I initially thought, like, I'm gonna just get, like, one racist fucking comment, like, thrown at me. I thought something. I just thought the worst, right? Because it's the South, you know? It's about as south as you can get before Florida. But, you know, everyone was just like, yeah, like, just overly nice. There was one exchange that I had that kind of, like, was... I don't know if I liked it because it was just, like, kind of invading my personal space a bit. We were at a gift shop right outside the plantation that we were at. And, you know, I was like talking to one of the cashiers because like I just needed to oh no, my girlfriend was paying for something, so I was with her. And then the guy behind me, you know, he wanted to like kind of just ask a question, right? So he thought I was still online with my girlfriend, like I had something else to pay, right? But I was like, no, buddy, you're fine. Like, then go ahead. Like, he was a bit older guy. I didn't say buddy, but like that's the way I always just think in my head. Like, yeah, buddy, go ahead, it's fine. But then he's like, I was like, oh, no, sure, sir, go ahead. It's like, I'm not paying for anything. He's like, oh, okay. And he tenderly, not tenderly, but like, he like almost fatherly, like, you know, said like, you know, oh, thanks, son. And like, he like grabbed my shoulder and then I walked away and then he just went to do his business at the cashier. And like, for 2 days, I was just like, how do I didn't know how to feel about that. Cause it's like for one, it's like, you know, like, come on, man. Like, you know, like, I don't know you like that. Like, you can't just touch my shoulder like that. But at the same time, I was just kind of like, I mean, I'm also like not that bothered by it because it was just kind of like, did it feel
racist?
I don't think so. At the very least, like, I'm not, like, I thought that too, but I was just like, but, you know, like, it was just like, oh, I'm just letting you go to the front of the line, and then I just walked away. So I was like, Oh, like, is that just like a thing they do there? Like, they just kind of, you know, like a bit touchy, I guess. Like, not like, you know, like, but just like at the very least, like they'll like touch
More
your shoulder.
open to
or, like,
it because they're just like kinder, I guess.
yeah,
so,
that's
like,
what I
it's
mean.
just
Like, you know, because if
a bit
I
of a
did
culture
that,
shock.
if I did that to someone in New York or anywhere, they'd be like, get the fuck off, like immediately.
It might just be a bit of a culture shock kind of thing. I mean, you go to Australia, and I'm not even lying. Cunt is a term of endearment there.
Yeah.
Like, unironically.
You say
think
that
I'm
here,
kidding.
it's just like,
not.
oh, like, why'd you call
It's
me
over.
a cunt?
Trumps everything, no matter if, like, a woman is even, like, or a person even is
Cunt.
acting like that. It doesn't matter. You call them that, trumps everything in this fucking culture. But down there, it's different. So I guess in Louisiana, I mean, it's, like, a little bit of a different culture shock when it comes to that. Because, when I took Jar to go see Randy Feltface, the woman behind me kind of touched my ass.
Well, what do you mean by kind of? What's the... How did it go down?
Well, I needed to move out of the way, right? Because we
Yeah,
needed
yeah.
to move out of the way because of the line, or we needed to keep the line moving or something. So the lady just wanted to sort of push me over,
Yeah, yeah.
but she didn't tap my side or my shoulder or anything.
Like
She
grabbed
no,
cheek.
no. She dipped her finger in my pants pocket
Huh? Oh, I don't like that.
and just kind of scooted over to the right. Yeah.
She like just went like this to your pocket.
Something like that.
That is
Yeah, I've been sexually harassed plenty. It's fine. You know? I'm a man, so it doesn't matter.
No,
so
no. But on the real though, like you were it made you feel just like I'm confused as to how to feel about this.
No,
right?
there have been times where I've been like actually like unironically sexually harassed by men where I was like deeply uncomfortable. I can't even count the amount of times that happened to me when I was working at the American Dream. I'm serious. Like I'm actually completely serious. Like I still even remember that, to be honest. So, yep, it happens to dudes too. Just
course.
saying. Not as much probably, but it still happens.
Yeah, like it's just. I mean, context is important, I guess. So it's like, you know, okay, he didn't mean nothing by it, but it's just kind of like, you know, I never had that happen anywhere. Yeah. Like when I'm living up here, like fucking never. So it was like oh, it's like if I did that to another guy down there, like would it not be weird? Like that's how I thought about it, because it's like I know I would get shit if I tried to do that like up here, like for sure, but. I guess it's just like, hey, like, it's just fine down there. I don't know.
Just a little tap on the shoulder. That's different culture. So, you want to
That
end
was
today
Louisiana, everybody. Dennis goes to Louisiana, his little adventure for 5 days.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
There's actually a lot of Popeyes down there.
I bet they hate that.
I guess, but it's like, it did originate down there.
I don't know, man. It's like going to a Papa John's in NYC. Same shit, you know? Same shit, you know what I mean? It's like, you're gonna eat that fucking cardboard up here when you can have, like, New York pizza. I would say $2 slices, but now it's $3 slices because of inflation.
It was founded in Louisiana, but the headquarters is not even down there. It's in Florida.
Wow.
Which, you know...
You're telling me a lot of shit that's pissing me off right now, so if we could... From, you know, that, and then the sexual harassment, and then every other thing that we were talking about before we started recording today. Can we end today on a positive note?
Yes. Of course.
The Super Mario Brothers movie beat Frozen.
Yeah!
It surpassed Frozen.
Let me see the numbers. Let me see the
Super
big
Mario
numbers.
Brothers movie is now the second highest grossing animated film of all time.
Let's go! Worldwide, right?
I believe so. Now, would you like me to bring it back down?
Wait, hold on. Frozen 1, right?
Yeah, it beat Frozen 2 a while ago. It beat Frozen 1 recently.
Fucking hey.
Woo! Yeah. Now, would you like me to bring this back down so we can be angry again, back down to sadder levels and get hot again?
Okay.
You want to know what the number one highest grossing animated film of all time is? Still above the Mario movie?
What?
The fucking Lion King remake.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's how it made me feel. Give me indigestion.
Disney still doesn't have to wait to be king again.
Oh god. probably see that, right? And you just tell each other, like, we don't have to try. Like, we don't have to try. We don't have to try anymore.
Little Mermaid made $38 million in its opening weekend.
Which, okay, you know, if it did well in the box office, it's like, that's its own thing to praise, you know? But it's like, as a movie, like, obviously, like, you know, we don't really give a fuck about it, but it's like, that's the thing. Like, that's how they look at it. They look at a movie and they say, damn, this dude seems to be doing some numbers right now.
Yeah.
And, like, they didn't even cook it that long in the kitchen anyways. It was just kind of like, oh, like, let's just take all the beats and whatever, the themes, like, from Lion King and just slap it on to the CGI nightmare fuel.
There you go. It shouldn't even count. It's a live-action movie, technically. It shouldn't count as the highest-grossing animated film. And it's basically not animation. I mean, have you seen their fucking faces? They don't change. Like, their expressions are just not even... It's so wooden. Oh, that's what I should have talked about. Actually, you know what? I didn't want to talk about that because this is something I actually do legitimately want to make a video essay on, but I guess I could bring this up while we're talking about Disney.
Yeah, do it.
I watched Toy Story 4 recently.
Oh.
For the first time.
All right, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
I remember you mentioned it to me before.
I never saw it.
How did it make you feel?
How did it make me feel?
Where did it touch you? on this chart, where did it touch you? How did it make you feel?
Oh, you fucking asshole. God damn it.
Where on this chart did it touch you?
The movie did not touch me in the dick.
Or the heart.
It did not touch me in the booty. The movie, it love-tapped my heart on the way to my brain.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
So
I'm going to keep it a buck with you.
So it's a solid 2.
No, not that bad.
3.
I'm going to... Sure.
Okay.
No, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Not as bad as everyone says. And here's why.
No, but
listen.
It's also boring.
Here.
It pales to the last 3.
No, it's the worst one. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I am not going to sit here and say, like, oh, it's
okay, but it wasn't bad, though, right?
No, it wasn't at all.
Go ahead.
It wasn't at all. And you want to know the best way I could describe Toy Story 4? And I'm probably getting this out of the way because I'm going to say the same thing in, like, that video that I wanted to make.
Yes.
The only way that Toy Story 4 can possibly be described, the movie is a soulful cash grab. That's what it is. It's a soulful cash grab. Most cash grabs are soulless.
Yeah.
You know, like your Men in Black 2s of the world, your
Rush Hour 4,
your Rush Hour 4, your Rush Hour 4s and shit.
Yeah.
Soulless cash grabs. Toy Story 4, however,
had some soul.
Was a soulful cash grab. The best way that I can possibly describe Toy Story 4, it is the absolute greatest fucking movie that has ever ruined a franchise. It's the best movie that's ever ruined a franchise. That's the best way I can describe it. Its sheer existence, yeah, it kind of shits on the trilogy. I will give you that. Its existence kind of shits on it because the movie did not have to be made. No. Especially, and I will fucking spoil it, I guess.
If you haven't watched it by now, that's on you.
Toy Story 3. The ending of Toy Story 3 is one of the most chef's kiss endings. Like, pretty much ever. It's fucking perfect. It's actually perfect. So Toy Story 4, the fact that that movie was around, its mere existence, it can't possibly not be a cash grab. Yeah, it's a fourth movie, but it's whatever. But here's the thing, though. The movie itself was still pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine.
And the reason I say that is because the movie, and I'll get to this in a bit, how it actually kind of spoke to me. The movie legitimately ties up the only loose end the franchise had. The only loose end the franchise with Bo. Yeah. Because they literally just kind of did a fuck you to the audience and to Woody at the beginning of Toy Story 3, where they're talking about, like, oh, we got some more toys going away. And they're talking about, like, oh, we always say goodbye. I don't even remember what the dialogue was. He's saying, like, something about, like, saying goodbye to old toys, and then just one of them in the crowd just goes, like, and Bo. Like, just brings it up, like, and Bo's gone too, just, you know, in case you forgot. Which, obviously, he didn't. You live with him. He knows that he fucking lost the love of his life.
Yeah.
Like, that day. Why did you have to say it for the audience? Which is kind of a shitty part of the movie when you think about it. Because that line only exists to be like, oh, Bo's gone. And, like, so the audience knows.
Yeah.
But they still got away with it good because it was still like a realistic or believable line, I guess. But they literally just put that in the movie as like a fuck you to Woody. Basically, just like, yeah, Bo's gone. Like, you know, whatever.
Get over it.
Like, get over it, because it doesn't come up again later in the movie. She has nothing to do with the plot. It's just like, oh, Bo's gone. And she was never the most major character anyway. Like, she was created as Woody's love interest. In Toy Story 4, where she has like an astronomically bigger role. It's different. If there's any good thing I will say about Toy Story 4, in case you were wondering about that, which I guess most of us weren't, it reveals what the fuck happened to Bo. Like, that's, like, what happened to her after she was taken away, how she was taken away, and stuff like that. And the thing I love about it, as somebody who's done something for so long that he's lost his passion for, kind of ties him down in a bad way, and even kind of wants to distance himself from, like, some people from that scene or whatever, the ending was really relatable to me, Dennis. That's what it really stuck out to me. Because Bonnie just doesn't give a fuck about Woody no more. You know, he's just in the closet, but he's so stuck in his old ways of like, I need to make a toy happy. Like, I was made to help a child, you know, that even though it doesn't make him happy anymore and he's not fulfilling that purpose there, he's just tied to it because change from something you've done for so long to the point where it becomes part of your identity is scary. I mean, I really, parts of me sometimes feel like I should have stopped casting Smash tournaments forever ago, but I still do it. You know what I mean? So, my favorite part of the movie, and not like because I'm happy because it's over, was literally the ending. I actually love the ending of Toy Story 4.
The ending by itself, like, it was good.
Yeah, because, like, here's the thing. The movie really did not need to exist. Fair arguments that it shits on the legacy of the original trilogy, but at the same time, it was really sweet on its own. Ties up the only loose end the franchise ever had. And yeah, you could say it taints the end of what was a borderline perfect trilogy. Makes me wonder what the fuck I'm gonna do with 5. But, like, again, just for me, it was relatable. As somebody who's done something for so long, again, to the point where it becomes part of your identity, who struggles to move on from it, even though it is well past time to do so, like as it was for Woody. It is well past time for him to move on. Sometimes something you were deeply passionate about either isn't gonna fulfill you the same way it once did, or it's just ran its course. And if you ignore your inner voice telling you to move on, you'll live the rest of your life stuck and feeling lost in that safety. That quote-unquote safety.
Yeah.
It was just Woody's time. It, and it's relatable, like, to anybody who is, like, going through a big shift in their life or feels like it's time to move on to the next phase of your life. That's why the ending was perfect. Frankly, I actually would have hated the movie had he just gone back to Bonnie after all that and be like, okay, what was the fucking point of that whole fucking adventure then? What was the point of all that? Like, oh, he saw Bo again. Bye. He just goes, bye. See you later. No, he got to reunite with the love of his life, which was already insanely sweet enough on its own.
And this kid don't give a fuck about me anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Andy was the turning point for him. He served his purpose in that part of his life. Because sometimes you can finally fulfill that part of your life. You got your dream job. You made the show. You did whatever the hell you wanted to do that you've aspired to do since you were a kid. And now it's over. Now what? You're still alive, bitch. And you're a fucking toy. So you're immortal.
Well, you know, before the plastic just, like, fucking gets eaten away.
Yeah. I mean, they can die, but, like, they don't age. That's
That's
how
the thing. Like, you know, the only time we ever hear about them, like, truly dying is, like, when they go to the landfill.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that's like your hell. That's your purgatory. Or that's your death, essentially. Like, that's where you go to die. And, like, I remember watching 4 a while back, and, like, I thought at the very least it was like, because at least for me, it's like the way I kind of viewed even, like, a lot of the later Disney stuff, talking like Toy Story 4, even, like, you know, a lot of these other kind of sequels, even Incredibles 2, as you mentioned before, like, when we were talking, like, last night. Like,
fuck, that was a topic. I could have said that at the beginning. Like, so we could have talked about more about, whatever, you know.
Yeah, but, like, you know, going back to it, it's just kind of like, you know, for a lot of those movies, like, when I was watching them, like, this is more so going to be a commentary about, like, how I think, at least, like, I'm going to kind of quote you again, where you said it was, like, a soulful cash grab.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, Toy Story 4 did not have to be made, period. At least storytelling-wise, it did not have to be made. Like, yes, sure, we had, like, the one plot loose end, which was Bo, but really the way it just concluded 3, how it concluded was just like, as you said, chef's kiss. Like,
Yeah.
how much of a better ending can you fucking get from that?
Yeah.
And going now to Incredibles 2, just briefly, like, I mean, the movie did end on a cliffhanger, I guess, because it was about, like, the Underminer.
Behold the Underminer.
I dig underneath you. I don't know what he said, but, like, he's like, I am under where you
years
sleep.
of living underneath the metropolis, or, like, just living underneath
Yeah, just
people or something.
shitty monologuing.
Yeah.
You know, and we know how Incredibles feels about fucking monologuing. But, even that movie, and people may even argue, like, well, you know, the whole first movie was about Robert, Mr. Incredible, and the second movie should be, you know, about Elastigirl. Should be about Helen.
I loved that they made Elastigirl the protagonist in the
I
second
did
one.
too.
I actually really enjoyed that
I did too, and like you know,
for several reasons.
it's for some great assets. but overall, at least like the movie and how I kind of like, I'm trying to think. Like, I didn't hate it, but that's the thing. Like, I didn't, like, maybe it's just because I am older now? Because, like, I watched Toy Stories 1 and 2 and even 3, and I, like, still think, like, I feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I just go back to that little point in my life. And even Incredibles 1, too. Like, I mean, even with the great meme potential that, like, that whole movie had from the very beginning to end, I didn't think, like, shit like, remember when, like, Syndrome, like, has his hands out like this because he's just emphasizing how much of a dense motherfucker you are?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think that would ever, like, kind of, like, live on. But, like, the movie's been immortalized now. The first one, Incredibles. Yeah. And it is arguably, I'd even go as to say, like, probably one of the greatest portrayals of superheroes, period. Like, that is up there with The Boys because it kind of explores, like, you know, again, like, I'm not gonna go too in depth with this, but it's like it goes and explores like kind of how, like, you know, we're supposed to live with these superheroes, and even like the law that gets passed in the first movie where it's like they gotta hang up their capes and just kind of like live among us like as normal people.
It had that Pixar charm where it's just
exactly
like a what if.
It was so subtle, but it was so fucking whip smart with its like messaging. Like, yeah, it was meant for kids, but it's like as an adult, if you watched it, you were kind of like, oh shit, like, you know, it was actually intriguing, like the message that it was kind of get across, and even just like kind of putting yourself in like how, you know, like at least for Robert's case, like, you know, he was this great fucking hero. It's just this not a deadbeat, but it's like he's just like a beaten down man in a cubicle, and like he's trying to help people in his own way by like selling life insurance and stuff like that.
But that don't hit the same. It
don't hit the same. And like, you know, it's like that one scene that we always like kind of know from SpongeBob where it's like the guy's just going through his day to day. And then it ends with...
It's like the third time you've brought up that particular scene from SpongeBob. But
because it's so relatable. Like, that's how we all feel. It's like the wife's just like, coming to bed, dear. Yes, dear. Like, you hear the defeat in the guy's voice. And even for Robert's case, too. And like, I'm not saying that at least Helen's whole, like, kind of, like, her story had to be told, too, of course. And, you know, obviously, like, it was her movie because Robert was just a bumbling idiot throughout the entirety of the second movie. He was just kind of, like, has no idea what to do, being, like, a single parent and all that.
Well, the writers didn't even necessarily know what to do with him, which
he was, like, the weakest part of the movie.
Which is interesting, because Incredibles 2 made way more money than the first one. It's like the only sequel that actually just made bank for some fucking reason. It's actually one of Disney's like highest.
We know why though.
All right, all right.
We've all seen the drawings.
Well, the first one, yes, we have. The first one, though, like at least like had that old Disney charm where it's like a big what if. You know, like they used to ask what if. Monsters Inc. Like that, like the scary monster in your closet that your kid is afraid of. Somebody in the writers' room was like,
"Just a 9-to-5 worker."
What if that? Yeah, what if that was just that's just homie clocking into work.
He's just trying to make bread for the family. Like
obviously there was Toy Story. What if your toys came to life when you were gone?
Yeah,
that was like their first what if and their biggest what if.
Just, you know, it just played with the imagination in a way.
The Incredibles, like, oh sorry,
and I was just even saying, like, just to finish off there, it's like, you know, it really, like, at least that era, like, with Pixar, at least, like, even Bug's Life, which I didn't really particularly like, obviously.
Bug's Life is mid.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like, the sort of like dynamic
one of their
they
rare
had.
early misses, I have to say. One of their
Yeah,
rare
like,
early misses was a Bug's
wasn't
Life.
even like really a miss. It was like you thought it was a home run, but then someone caught the ball. So you were out. It's not even like
Like, it's just in the air the whole
it's
time.
like you thought like,
the
it's
ball
gonna go
got
flying. So, but the guy caught it. Like, like it did well enough and stuff, but it's like, hey, like it's not up there.
And the
with, like,
Incredibles,
greats.
what if? The Incredibles, what if too? Like, what if superheroes just get fucking sued? What if someone didn't want to be saved?
Oh, that was wild when the guy like said like, it's like, you didn't save me, you disabled me from the waist down, because like he saved him from the jump, and then he just gets like crippled. And he sues him for like damages.
Like, he wanted to kill himself. Why didn't you let him kill himself? And like, they threw the bullshit of politics in one of the most unique ways I've ever seen in a movie. Which is why I do think it's on par with The Boys, as of like one of the most unique ways to tell a superhero story ever. Yeah. And The Incredibles 2 was not that. It was just like, hey, we made a sequel, cash grab. You know?
By the way, Helen's ass is huge. You like that too?
So I don't even think Incredibles 2 was as soulful of a cash grab. That movie felt a little more soulless to me. I can't even lie to you. But Toy Story 4, on the other hand, it had some soul, and it told a story that, like, I get, like, again, they didn't need to tell Beau's story, but just for the people who might have been curious about it, who, like, took a sad part about it, they found the one little tiny spot where, like, oh, fuck, we can make a sequel out of this. Yeah. Fuck. Let's do it.
John's just kind of like, no.
But at the end of the day, they still found a way to tell an actual relatable, not completely cliched story of just like needing to move on with your life after.
Because it could have gone that direction.
Yeah, after you fulfilled your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he was able to reunite with his lost love, like in doing that as well, like
just now live his life in peace and just in happiness, like. People kind of sometimes talk shit on that a lot of times when it comes to storytelling, because it's kind of like a lot of times I've seen a lot of stories where like the hero just kind of like doesn't want, like if he's like a fighter, he doesn't want to fight no more. He just wants to hang up the gloves or hang up the sword and just kind of like go off into the sunset, if that makes sense. Like he just doesn't want to fight no more. But everyone always wants to see the guy that kicked ass. And for even Thanos too, like, we even see him like just kind of hang up the glove or like kind of just, snap the glove out of existence. He just, after he finished his job, he wasn't going to like rule the world or whatever. He just said, I'm just going to go off to my farming planet and then just chill out forever. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm just done. And
proven, you can make a cash grab and still make it a good movie.
No, true. But it's like, but that's why there's levels to it, though.
Yeah, because that's what leads me to think. Because you want to know what movie I actually think is probably going to be bad with the way that Toy Story 4 ended?
Which one?
Toy Story 5.
Oh, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
But, I mean, that's already confirmed, right?
Oh, no, yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's already confirmed, like a fifth Toy Story. But, like, now I don't know what the fuck that movie is going to be about.
Yeah, like, is it going to be now Buzz's movie? Like, he's going to be like...
No, they already did that!
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, who else is left to kind of, like, tell the story through? Because 4's was Woody's movie in a way. Yeah,
like a prequel with Jessie, that would be completely unnecessary. Like, because her backstory was already fulfilled with what it needed to be in Toy Story 2. Like, that's completely unnecessary. Beau, on the other hand, we didn't know what the fuck happened to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just like, oh, Beau's gone. Toy Story 3 never mentions it again.
I guess if I was in the writing room and someone said like, oh, we got to tell Beau's story, I'd be like, I wouldn't disagree with them, but it's just like, okay, I guess. Yeah. Like, can we make it at least good? Like, please.
If anything, I think I'm going to be way more impressed if they somehow manage to make Toy Story 5 good, because, like, knowing how Toy Story 4 and 3 ended, I'm just like, how?
Who's left?
What are you going to tell?
One of the, like, half of your, like, duo is gone. He's gone. He's not going to be a part of this. Like, who's going to sidekick off of Buzz?
Yeah, there's, like, nothing else you could do to, like, torment Woody or, like, make his, like, life harder to make it think. Like, what, are you going to kill off Beau in the next one? Be like, oh, hey, now she's dead.
Like, so go back to the carnival?
Yeah, so then it's like, what the fuck was the point of Toy Story 4? You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know what the hell they're going to do with a fifth movie. Like, that's the movie I feel like is genuinely going to be bad. But who knows? Everybody thought Toy Story 4 was going to be ass, and that movie was very divisive, because a lot of people did hate it, and there's people who loved it. And I happen to be in, like, the sect who loved it, so...
I mean, like, I guess we'll just reserve our judgment, because, like, it's not the first time me and David have jumped to conclusions and just kind of was like proven wrong.
Yeah.
So,
I filled out the form.
At the very least,
I
we'll
filled out the
reserve
form.
judgment for Toy Story 5. I don't know if he's even going to be made, considering that writer's strike is going on. So, like, I don't even know if it's going to be made on time.
Well, isn't that for TV?
Is it just for TV? I thought it was also for movies.
Is the Writers Guild both TV and movie? I don't know. That's why I wanted to have Jessica back on the show again, like to answer that fucking question for me.
Screen.
Yeah.
Is it
Either
the
way.
Screenwriters Guild Association?
Yeah, the WGA.
Isn't it the SGA?
The SGA?
Yeah.
Are you thinking of SAG, like SAG, because SAG-AFTRA?
I kept thinking back to Team America, whether the Film Actors Guild.
God.
It's so childish. It's so childish, but I still find it so fucking funny.
We're wrapping up anyway. Don't
Yeah.
worry. Don't worry.
Writers
about
Guild
it.
of America. WGA, yeah. But I think it's the one, is it both the East and West? There's 2 chapters of them.
I don't know. I don't do enough research into the I should know more about it, but I don't.
2023.
You have any interest in seeing Elemental or no?
I'm actually gonna go watch it with my girlfriend because she wants to go watch it, and I actually said nope to Little Mermaid because she was gonna go see it with her sister. I was like, not my cup of tea, but I'll go with you to see Elemental.
Yep. And I love the big brown shield that Disney set up for themselves. Fucking assholes.
Yo, can I also just
Honestly.
say, it is so mean what they're doing to the girl who played Ariel. I don't care for her per se, but like people have been putting up pictures of her eyes farther apart, and it's so mean. I'm like, why? She didn't do nothing.
Why would they do
Like
that?
she actually looks like a fish, which is terrible to say, but like
I mean, she didn't look like a fish in the animated movie. Like, so why would you?
that's the thing. It's
wait,
like
didn't people do the same thing? Like, isn't there a meme of Ariel from the original movie?
yeah, she
where
got
they
like
split
her eyes like
across?
fucked up. and
Okay,
everything.
maybe that's why they did it. Because
Yeah, but
otherwise,
it's like-
otherwise, I'm not gonna lie, that feels racist.
That's what I mean. It just seems mean. Like she didn't even do nothing. She just was in. She just
That's what
got
I'm saying.
picked as Ariel.
That's what I'm saying. Big brown shield.
Yeah.
Like when the diversity isn't for actual authentic reasons, and you just be like, "Oh, you don't like this movie? That's just a rehash of the movie that we made before." Racist. Like, fuck that noise. We're done. I'm out of this fucking podcast now. So we'll see y'all next week. We actually have some guests lined up this time.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you about them after we're done hitting the button.
Sounds
So yeah,
good.
catch me at an event with business cards for DDE. Here you can actually see what's on that business card right now. There it is on screen for you. Follow us at Double D Pod on Twitter. Double D Experience 21 on Instagram. The Double D Experience 21 on Instagram. My mistake. Follow, leave us reviews, like us wherever you get your podcasts, and listen to us there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that shit. And right here at youtube.com/Nintoonist, where you can like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate it, you guys. Hope you enjoyed listening to Dennis down in the Bayou's opinions
I
on
didn't even
Toy
go down
Story.
there. The Bayou.
And also the Bugatti bunch. Sticker, badge, emblem, whatever they were called in Paper Mario, badges.
Oh yeah, the badges. Yeah. BP.
The Bugatti badge after being in the pit of 1,000 trials. What, you guys didn't know about that? The hidden pit of 1,000 trials in Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door, where you get the Bugatti badge?
On the real, more than half of those badges were fucking useless.
Maybe
Honestly, they were so useless.
Maybe that's why they got rid of them.
I miss Paper Mario. When are you gonna make a remake of that, Nintendo? I'll buy that.
The same time that Pixar finally goes in and realizes it's time to remaster Toy Story 1. Because it is. I really think they should, actually.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think they should.
Nice.
I'd pay to see it. I really would.
Toy Story 1, you said?
1, yes.
Has it aged that bad?
2, yes.
I gotta watch it again then.
Dude, Toy Story 4, you look at that movie and then you look at 1 and it's like, fuck. Doesn't even look like the same company made it. You know?
Like, how in the hell did this same company... I mean, it was like 1999!
95.
95 even!
Yeah.
I mean, but hey...
The movie was a marvel for its time.
Exactly, yeah. Give credit where credit's due. It's holy shit. For 95? We thought PS2 graphics was like fucking NASA out here.
That's true. The fucking... Oh my god. The fucking, like, N64 wasn't even out yet.
Yeah.
And then they made this. Oh, that's crazy. Actually,
They just push the boundaries. I think they set the benchmark after that. It's just like, this is what you can do.
It did. It literally didn't it like Toy Story 1 literally create the Oscar award for best animated feature? I think
Okay, I'm gonna look this up and then we're gonna end it here.
Okay.
Did Toy Story make the Academy Award for best animated film?
Yeah. Like, did it create the category?
Okay, I'm just reading this little blurb from Wikipedia. Instead, the Academy occasionally bestowed special Oscars for exceptional productions, usually for Walt Disney Pictures, such as for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1938, and the Special Achievement Academy Award for the live-action/animated hybrid Who Framed Roger Rabbit, 1989, and Toy Story in 96. So it was first awarded, believe it or not, to Shrek.
Ooh.
So Shrek was the one that essentially made that category.
So Shrek created the category, but Toy Story did when they did
laid
sort
the
of
groundworks.
create its own like non-annual award
Yeah.
for the movie that they just wanted to give. Like, hey, this was a technical marvel. We got to give a nod to that.
Yeah,
real
I
quick.
think it took the three of them, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Snow White, and then plus Toy Story to kind of have them go, you know what? Maybe animated films can be Oscar or Academy Award worthy. So I think it wasn't until they saw Shrek that they were like, okay, no, well, fuck. We guys got to make our own category for this shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because we ain't gonna stop making these bangers. Please go see Puss
just
in
wish
Boots
they
if you
stopped.
haven't.
I just wish they stopped being so fucking soulless. Fucking Disney.
Yep. Please go see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish if you haven't.
Give DreamWorks your money so we could get more Puss in Boots.
Please. Yeah, we love
I
y'all.
like more
Bye.
Puss in Boots.
We like more Puss in Boots, please.
I want to see Death again. I want to see him speak his broken Brazilian Spanish.
Yo, if he's in Shrek 5, that'd be wild. That'd be wild!
It's fucking like he shows up at Shrek. Like, shows up in front of Shrek. Like, I mean, I don't even know how the
Shrek's
interaction
just
would
like,
go down.
oh, hello there.